Even saying the words risk management make you feel serious and probably slightly scared. It sounds like serious, complicated stuff. It's the sort of stuff which you spend weeks learning about. Risk management is very, very simple, and I'll try and walk you through how to get it to work. Have you ever been to a meeting and the guy up front is announcing the new goals, the new challenges, the deliverables, talking about this opportunity, and you're sitting there and you're watching this presentation and you can see the flaw, the big flaw, the reason it's all going to crash? Do you always stick your hand up and go, hey, it's going to fail, I can see why? Not always. Why? Because you're sensible. Because if you complain early, you'll be seen as negative. So normally what you do is you nudge your friend who you're sitting next to and you whisper to them. You go, shh, and they laugh, hee 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 hee, because you're laughing about what's going to go wrong, and you can see it. You don't tell anyone else, and then you leave the meeting. And you leave the meeting, 1 month passes, 2 months pass, exactly as you predicted it, it goes wrong. You meet your friend in the corridor, you say, hey, do you remember we said it would go wrong, it's gone wrong, and you laugh together, and you're happy because you predicted it would go wrong, and it's gone wrong. This is madness. Something's gone wrong. How come the person up front didn't see that risk? Well, first of all, they probably didn't ask you. Most of the time, people don't ask anyone else about their risks. They try and do the analysis themselves. That's the first mistake they make. The second mistake they make is they talk about risk. If you say the words risk to somebody, everyone knows the answers. It'll overrun, it'll cost too much. If you use a word like fears or concerns, they'll go, oh, well, my fear is that we won't get on very well. No one's going to write that down as a risk. So first, you have to ask for those particular risks by using the word fears. Then on top of that, if they actually do collect them, they have this wonderful way of managing them. What they do is they have a grid, I'm sure you've seen this, it has magic letters, HML, it says on one side, HML. I think the HML stands for high, medium and low. And then they rank these risks they found as high probability, medium probability, low probability, high impact. I don't know if you've ever done one, but have you noticed how all the ticks end up in the box medium, medium? Nothing ever ends up in the box high, high, because everyone's too smart. If you put anything in the high probability, high impact box, your boss is going to give you a hard time. You're going to be red. You're going to have to report on it. So what happens is we write them all down, we put them on the shelf, and nothing happens. The risks are unmanaged. Let me explain to you how you manage risks. I don't need to teach you anything because you already know the answer to this one. The answer to managing risk is to treat risks exactly as you would respond if you were watching a science fiction film. Have you seen science fiction films? You know how they all involve aliens who are dangerous, who are going to eat you? I mean, basically that's what they seem to do for a living. Think about it. Start of an alien science fiction film. There's a space crash somewhere. Somebody goes up towards this crash. You're shouting at the screen, don't go there. Why do you say don't go there? Because it's dangerous. You know it's a risk. How come the person up front in that presentation didn't know it was a risk? So the first thing you have to do is identify the risks. They never do that in the alien films. They always go into the alien spacecraft. There's lots of steam and lights. They go up to the first chair with an alien in it and they turn the chair around. The alien in the first chair is always dead. Have you seen these things? The alien in the second chair is also always dead. And then the music starts. The alien in the third chair starts to move and raises its tentacles. And you're going, run, run, hit it and run. In other words, kill it now. Get rid of it now before it extends its tentacles and kills you. They never do that in risk management. They write a high, medium, low thing, and instead of killing the aliens, they stick it on the shelf. No, of course not. So the first step is identify the aliens, the risk. Second one is kill it immediately. What else? What do they always do in the films? They don't kill it, they take it back to the only safe place on the moon, the laboratory. But they never put it in a decent containment. They always put it on the kitchen table. And they always get somebody to keep an eye on it. Who do they select? Do they select the smart cadet, or is it the chap who is a little bit weird, or the mad scientist who wants to open the door and go and study it? It's always the wrong person. So having failed to contain it, the monitoring is rubbish. They're not checking this thing is coming alive. It always escapes, grabs the scientist by the throat, kills him, escapes and opens the slidey doors. Then it eats everyone, and the only way you can get rid of it is by blowing up the whole space station, which is what's known as Plan B. There are only 5 stages to making risk management work. Identify that risk. Kill it immediately. Don't just leave it lying around. Contain it. Make sure if it goes wrong, it's not going to wreck everything else. Monitor it. Be clear on what you're going to notice first. And finally, have up your sleeve a plan B.